Morning. Good to be with you this morning. I'm sitting out here at a football field on the bleachers, and I'm going to be talking to you Proverbs, specifically kind of sitting on the sidelines from the bleachers and just talking to you about some principles from Proverbs. So again, we're building on the four pillars of a healthy Christian business leader. The four pillars are healthy relationships, biblical financial values, biblical spirituality, and balanced living. But as I'd mentioned before, in weeks or months when I have kind of like a fifth week, I'm throwing in just some lessons from Proverbs. And so this is one of those fifth weeks. And so we're going to be focusing on Proverbs chapter 25 and talking about Proverbs 25 from the perspective of leadership, biblical leadership, and also, of course, specifically for business leaders. And so that's kind of the focus this week, Proverbs 25. And this morning I'm going to be dealing with verses 1 through 7. And I've titled the talk today simply this: humility in leadership is better than arrogance. So humility is better than arrogance. So often in business, we feel that we need to kind of outdo those around us, and we need to talk ourselves up, and we need to be, bragging about who we are and what our accomplishments are, and all of those kinds of things. And maybe there is a place for that from time to time, but I think we need to be very careful with that. And here's Proverbs 25, verses 1 through 7, and this is what was written. These are some more wise sayings from Solomon. These proverbs were copied by servants of Hezekiah, the king of Judah. We honor God for the things he keeps secret, but we honor kings for the things they can discover. We cannot discover how high the sky is above us or how deep the earth is below. The same is true with the minds of kings. We cannot understand them. Remove the worthless things from silver to make it pure, and the worker can make something beautiful. Take the evil advisor away from a king, and goodness will make his kingdom strong. Don't brag about yourself before the king and pretend you are something important. It is much better for the king to invite you to take a more important position than to embarrass you in front of his officials. So that's a significant passage of scripture in which we get some good advice for those who are in leadership. Now, of course, you make a reference to a king. I don't think there's any kings listening here today, but you are someone who is in leadership. Leadership maybe at work, maybe at church, certainly leadership at home if you're a father and a husband, and that ought to be there as well. And so here are some points that I think are important to us. And I've put down 5 things. The first thing is this: some things may be unknown to us as leaders, but not undiscoverable. In other words, there are things that God keeps secret, and actually sometimes it's good that those things are secret, because God doesn't tell us the future. He doesn't tell us what's going to happen tomorrow, and sometimes if we knew what was going to happen tomorrow, we wouldn't want to get out of bed today because we knew what was coming tomorrow. And so God doesn't do that. He doesn't tell us all the secrets, but at the same time, most things are very much discoverable. And for us as leaders, we have the ability then to go and discover and figure out what is going on. That's why we're leading. That's why we're saying, you know what, we're going to do this, Lord willing, we're going to do this next week. Or we're going to do this in a year from now. In 5 years from now, we're going to look at doing something again. And so we lead that way because we are discovering. We're constantly seeking new opportunities, new ways of being able to lead the people that either work with us or that we are at church with, or whatever the situation is, we're constantly seeking to lead them. And so, yes, there are these unknown things that we don't know about the future, but they're not undiscoverable for us. And so we constantly seek to figure those out. Also, the second thing is this: good leaders have minds that rise above others in the way they think. Again, I believe that this is significant. In this passage, he talks about the fact that, as the common people, they can't necessarily understand how high the sky is or how deep the earth is and so forth. And in that thinking, he's saying, see, they also don't fully understand the mind of the king. They don't fully understand how deep it is and how far he thinks. And so that's kind of this same reality. A good leader is someone who is thinking beyond what the common people around him are thinking. And that's, again, why he's a leader. He's leading because he is someone who thinks outside the box, someone who thinks maybe deeper, someone who thinks maybe broader than what the common people around them might be thinking. And so they'll come up with ideas and come up with scenarios and come up with plans that people around them say, how do they come up with that? How do they even know? And again, because they have a mind that thinks beyond the common. They think beyond those who are around them. And then verse 5 is a significant verse. Be careful who you surround yourself with as an advisor. He talks there about the silver. And you take the impurities out, and now you've got pure silver. And then the silversmith can now make something out of that. And then he goes beyond that. He says, and that is how a king is, a leader is. The advisors that we put around us, those that are going to give us direction, those who are going to give us advice as to how we ought to run our business, how we ought to lead the church, how we ought to lead our families, the people that we have around us that give us advice, that is going to impact how we behave. That's going to impact what we do. And so he's saying, be careful who your advisors are. Because if your advisors are people who are, in essence, wanting you to cut corners and wanting you to really do things that are not necessarily going to be good for you or good for your business or good for the church or good for your family, it's going to hurt you. And it's going to hurt. Again, he actually makes reference to it being evil. And so you want to have advisors around you who are going to lead you to do what is good, to do what is honorable before God. So be careful who you surround you with as advisors. And then verse 6, watch how you talk about yourself to those you're seeking to impress. So it's interesting because now he's in essence talking to people who are not the king. And he's saying, watch how you talk about yourself in front of the king. And the reality is we all, even as leaders, we all have those people that we look up to. People that we say, you know what, if I could just be like that person, if I could just lead the way that person leads, if I could just do and accomplish what they've accomplished. And so we all have those people that we look up to. And what he's saying is, be careful how you talk about yourself in front of them. Don't talk yourself up so much. Don't pretend to be something you're not. Instead, be real, be truthful, and be humble. And then verse 7, and I love that, it is better to have those you'd like to impress speak highly of you. He says, what would be terrible is that you talk about yourself so great, and you're in a gathering of people that are kind of on the same level as you, and that one person that comes in that you've been trying to impress, and you've thought, you're going to get that promotion, you're going to be that one that's going to, and then they dismiss you in front of everybody. He said it's much better that you don't play yourself up so much that this individual doesn't embarrass you in front of your colleagues, embarrass you in front of the people that work alongside you or are on the same level as you. It'd be much better that you come to him with humility, confidence, yes, confidence of course, but with humility, and then see him say, you know what, I want you to come and be my right-hand man. I want you to come and work with me. I want you to be my advisor. That would speak volumes to everybody around you. So today, as you go about your day, consider this advice as you seek to lead those around you. And may we have a mind that is always looking to understand more and yet able to lead in humility. May the Lord bless you. Have a great day, and I'll see you again tomorrow from the bleachers.